speech is not maunam, but to keep the mind silent is mauna. It's a very interesting and a very beautiful sadhana. See, if you observe your mind, you will find that it is constantly thoughts are coming, but mind also constantly talk. We also talk within. Constantly we talk, non-stop in our mind. We give running commentary, we give our judgment, we compare, we condemn, we decide. So many things happen in our mind just sitting at one place. You are sitting here, so many things you must be just deciding, talking and all. I want to go and tell him this. Now suddenly I remember when Swamiji said, yes, I should go and tell him. And then you talk in your mind. So that is not mauna. Mauna is to just keep the mind silent. And of course, when we observe mauna at the level of speech, it helps to quieten the mind also. But ultimately, when the mind becomes quiet, that is called mauna. And mauna is a very important sadhana, because only in the silence of the mind we will be able to recognize our own self. Self is not recognized because mind is not silent. In fact, even Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji says that be silent means be still and know that you are God. To recognize that I am God, I am divine, I am Brahma, only requirement is to silence the mind from within. The mind itself should become not suffocated from outside, not suppressed, not pressurized, but where the mind has become silent by itself from within. See, sometimes in a primary or in nursery and all, the teacher comes and says, keep quiet, finger on your lips. We used to have such teachers. Then finger on this. But still inside that great desire to talk. Then even with finger on the lips, we used to talk. Something. Because it's the imposition is from outside. But when the mind feels like not talking, not because of sadness, because of deep joy, that prasad. See, when mind is absolutely happy, it becomes silent. When it is excited or a lot of pleasure and all, it talks more. But in the state of happiness, the mind becomes silent. Because there is no need for the mind to go in the past or future, no need to talk about anything, because it has got what it wanted, the happiness. So this maunam we have to practice. So when we practice, we use our effort to keep the mind silent through various intelligent means, then it is tapas. And when we can attain that silence of our mind, it will lead us into the state of meditation. All this manasik tapas will lead a person into state of meditation only. So manaprasad, saumyata, maunam will lead us into that state of meditation. So silence is very important. And if we observe, we will find that most of our talking is useless only, outward. But inside also it is useless. Unnecessarily we will be repeating the same thing again and again inside. Thoughts are repeated, or we will do some action replay of the past events, or planning the future event, rehearsal of the future event. All these things keep happening in the mind. So even if we do some japa as Vangmaya tapas, it will help us to keep the mind silent. And in practice, when we practice, because talking is expressing ourselves to the world, giving our opinion to the world, interacting with the world. And meditation is interacting with yourself. So that words are not required. To communicate with the world, we require words. To communicate with myself, I don't require words. You don't send SMS to yourself, I hope. Even to communicate with the self, myself in others, I don't require words. When two people are communicating at a deeper level, they don't require words. When two Mahatmas sit together, they don't require words to communicate. They are communicating with each other. In silence, we can communicate with all beings of this world and with God also. God alone is there in everyone and He is our own self. So, Maunam is a very important and interesting tapas of the mind, which is help us to make the mind more and more pure and lead us to the ultimate destination. Then comes Atma Vinigraha, so self-control. All these are related. If one is achieved, the other also gets achieved. But one can try all together. So Atma Vinigraha, control over the mind. So Maunam is also practice, and at times we have to think, we have to communicate, we have to interact with the world. At that time, one should have complete control over our mind. We should be able to modulate our thinking. See, there are some people who do extra thinking, too much thinking. इतना सा काम करना है, but इतना सारा thinking करते हैं. Irritating, like. Especially organizers and all, sometimes they sit and think and plan and details and all, too much. Including खाना क्या बनाना है, उसका डिटेल में डिस्कशन पहले करेंगे. सब्जी कौन सी अच्छी है और ये हो, बाप रे, आई टेल यू. 2 मिनट का खाना खा के ख़त्म करो, बट नो डिटेल में उसका. Then next day again they will have another discussion on that, a round of discussion. Then the third round of discussion. So too much thinking on one particular thing, extra overthinking is also not good. Underthinking or less thinking is also not good. It should be precise, to the point. जितना चाहिए उतना ही. At whatever time it should be thought, that time you should think and then drop it. That is called control over mind. Control over mind doesn't mean that only I will not eat rasgulla, let me see. That is one control, but control means control in your thinking and your emotions in such a precise way. Because mind should be used as our instrument, like the mobile. Whenever we want, we use it. When we are sitting in the satsang, we keep it in silence. Whenever we want, we can switch it off also. It is under our control. Similarly, our mind should be under control. When it is required, thinking should be done. When not required, thinking need not be done. Some work is there and all, so उसका सोचो 5 मिनट सोचना है तो 5 मिनट सोचो. After that you drop it. So overthinking, repetition of the same thing, all these things are not good for the mind. So Atma Vinigraha, complete control, then such a controlled mind can be led towards our ultimate goal very, very efficiently, intelligently. So Atma Vinigraha, as our Gurudev also mentioned, that like a child, the mind sometimes behaves like a child, so should be treated very gently, nicely, and slowly brought under our control. So Atma Vinigraha. Then Bhava Samshuddhihi, purity in our attitude while dealing with the world around. As Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji says, Vyavahara Kale. When doing Vyavahar with the world, there should be Bhava Samshuddhihi. There should be purity in our attitude, in the mind. The attitude should be pure. So that is also tapas. The other person may not understand or recognize our bhav, but we understand it. So while interacting with people, while talking, while doing our work, while doing whatever we are doing in this world, there should be bhava samshuddhihi, purity of bhava. There should not be any ulterior motive in our mind, should not have any hatred or jealousies or pride, should not have some negative feelings, but should have a positive, proper bhava. Bhava samshuddhihi. That sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha. May all be happy, may all be free from all disease. Even our enemies, may them, all of them be happy and peaceful. So it's called bhava samshuddhihi. That's also tapas. It is called tapas because it requires special effort and all. To remove all the negativities, उसको साफ करने के लिए थोड़ा परिश्रम की आवश्यकता होती है. So we have to put forth some effort to make our bhava shuddha. So all this is called iti etad tapaha manasam uchyate. This is manas tapas. So sharirik tapas purifies our body and through the body our mind. Vachik tapas purifies our speech and through the speech it purifies our mind. And mansik tapas purifies our mind. And once the mind becomes absolutely pure and calm and peaceful, this tapas, mansik tapas itself will lead us into that state of meditation. So this is our sadhana. So sadhana at 3 levels Bhagwan has mentioned. Now these 3 types of tapas, when it is performed with proper attitude, with sattvic attitude, then that is called sattvic. So that is what now Bhagwan talks about, the 3 types of tapas, sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So let us see verse number 17. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividham naraihi aphala kankshibhir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate Shraddhaya paraya taptam. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapah tat trividham naraihi. When these 3 types of tapas is practiced, the above 3 types of tapas, when it is practiced with supreme faith, Shraddhaya paraya taptam, with supreme faith and sattvic faith, when we practice these 3 types of tapas, faith in the words of the scriptures that whatever is said here is true and is good and is for my own welfare. So with proper reverence and regards, we have to follow this tapas. That's called faith. Without faith, if it is done, then it doesn't have that effect. So when we do it, it should be done with reverence and as a worship only. So Shraddhaya paraya, therefore supreme, paraya means supreme Shraddha, with supreme Saddha, when these 3 types of tapas is performed practiced by these men or these humans or these seekers, Afalakangshibihi, without having any attachment to the results. Attachment to the results means outer results. When we don't have any attachment to the outer results, then the mind becomes pure. See, when we desire something and do, then we get what we desire. But when we do without having the attachment to the result, our mind becomes pure. See, it is like, suppose, like in Ramayana again, there is an incident when Ramchandraji crossed the Gangaji and he offered that boatman the ring. He said, okay, keep this as the fair. It should be fair. So he gave the ring. He said, no, I don't want. I will not take anything. So Ramchandraji was in this dilemma, dharma sankat, because if he has used that boat and all, he has to give something in return. He said, no, I don't want. When he said, I don't want, Bhagwan offered himself to him. And that is the principle behind. When we do something and when we get that. But when we don't have any attachment to it, then we get the eternal. Not with the attitude of getting eternal we should do, but that is how it is. That when we do a work expecting a particular result, whatever we expect is limited, and that limited we get. But when we don't desire that limited, then what we get is infinite. That is a very interesting phenomena. Therefore, whatever tapas and whatever sadhana we do, there should not be any worldly gain in that. I will give another example. Like suppose I am singing a bhajan.